guys, so I wanted to post a video for you today using some of the new stuff that I got for Christmas. It's not a super in-depth video. I'll go ahead and post hopefully later in the next week or so updated foundation and eyebrow routine. I've changed a couple things about it, so I really hope to get that video up for you guys and really get this ball rolling again. I did use my new Tartlette in Bloom palette that I got for Christmas, thanks to my baby brother. Thank you so much. Actually, it was for my birthday, so it falls right. I'm Christmas Eve, so I don't know if you guys can really tell too much how much I have used this palette. I've hit, well, I've made a couple dents in some of the shadows, but it's a really beautiful palette, and for me, especially with how many palettes and eyeshadows that I own, it was just something really different that I didn't feel like I had in my collection already, so I was really excited to get my hands on that. And some of the other stuff that I did pick up for Christmas time, I got my Anastasia contour kit for the very first time, so I'm only like 2 years behind everybody else, but over the last year I've really loved my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I wanted to give this one a try because I had never used it, and the shades and the consistency are so different. I'm really liking the fact that you can change out the pans on this one was a big selling point for me because they don't sell singles of the Kat Von D, and obviously I ran out of the banana powder before I ran out of any of the other colors. I've hit pan on a couple, but the peach shade and the darkest contouring shade I was not able to use as much, so it kind of frustrates me to buy a palette when I'm not going to use 2 of the 6 shades out of it. So I was really hoping that I would like this one, and I do so far, so I've been using it for a couple weeks.
Okay, so I'm going to start by priming my eyelids using my Mica eye primer and my Zoeva buffing brush. I do this so that my eyeshadow really pops and also so that it doesn't crease throughout the day. So I'm just going to pop that all over my lids up to my brows and just buffing that in. I don't use too much. It doesn't take a lot, but just enough to make my eyeshadow pop. And then I'm going to be using my Tartlette in Bloom palette in the shade Flower Child on a fluffy brush. I am going to take that again all over my lid to set that primer and make everything really easy to blend. I really love this shade. It's such a natural shade. And then I'm going to be taking a Sonia Kashuk blending brush and the color Sweetheart, and that is going to be my transition color. So I'm going to start by concentrating that on the outer corner in small circular motions, blending that in, and then using windshield wiper motions to blend it up to my inner crease. So starting from the outer crease, concentrating that color and just working that up almost to my brow bone, but not quite. It's just going to transition all of the other darker shades that I'm going to use today. It really helps create a beautiful gradient. So I always start with this step, and I love this color for a transition color. The next color that I am going to take from this Tartlette in Bloom palette is Jet Setter. It's kind of a grayish beige color, and I really like it for chiseling out my crease area. It's the perfect shade if you're doing like a natural look. I could just stop there using this color and have a really nice daytime look. And I am going to go in with some darker shades too to enhance my eye area. So again, on a pointed crease brush, I'm going to concentrate that color on the outer corner, working in windshield wiper motions to blend it almost into the inner crease. I'm not going to take it quite all the way there, but I just want to make sure that it creates a nice gradient as I add my darker colors. So blending that and working that in. It does take time to blend and make sure that everything comes out perfectly, and just work with that color until you feel like it is blended well enough. And I kind of take it in different directions just to make sure that I do get it blended as much as possible. Next, I'm going to be using my Limecrime Venus palette, and I'm going to be taking the shade Creation, which is a nice orange-based medium brown. I really like this with the burgundy or browns. I think that they really offset each other very nicely, and it's just a little bit of a contrast. So I'm going to be taking a Zoeva fluffy blending brush, and that's just going to go into my crease area again, focusing more on the outer crease at this point because I do want that point to be a lot darker than the rest of my crease. I don't know if you can see it quite well enough, and just fixing a little smudge there. And blending, blending, blending. Then I'm going to be going in using the shade Leader from the Tartlette in Bloom palette and my Morphe, I think it's M411, there we go. And it's kind of a smaller pointed blending brush. It's perfect for the outer V. And I'm going to be dabbing this and pressing this color in before I go into blending it. Right there, I'm just pressing it into that outer V. I'm not going to take this into my crease or towards my inner crease. I'm focusing this all on my outer V so that it's nice and dark and gives me a nice doe-eyed effect. I really, really like this effect. It helps my eyes to look a lot more wide open. And I'm just going to work this color in. I'm going to go back in again. I'm going to dip my brush back into the shadow. And that's going to help concentrate that color just a little bit more. When you're working with a darker shadow, as you blend out, it's going to buff away some of that pigmentation. So sometimes you have to go in 2 or 3 times. If you're using a dark brown or a dark black, especially with those matter shades, you have to go in a couple times to really get that color concentrated. So work with it and really work it into that outer V to darken it up. And doing the same on the other side. The next step I'm going to be taking a Zoeva flat shader brush, and I'm going to be taking my e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. I really like this as an alternative to MAC Fix Plus. It's $3 as opposed to $20. So, I did skip a step there. I'm sorry. That is a precision crease brush, and I just went back in again with the shade Sweetheart to blend out those edges and make sure that everything has a nice gradient with that harsher dark color right there. I just wanted to blend that out with that a little bit. And then now I'll be going in with my Zoeva flat shader brush and the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. And that's just going to, I just do one spray on there and then dip it into the shade Rocker, which is a it's not a sparkly, I would call it more of like a shimmer color. So I want it to really pop in on that eyelid and be as shimmery as it possibly can be. So that's why I took the Makeup Mist and Set. And I'm just going to pop that right onto my eye, pressing that in. And I'm not trying to go too far into where I've already placed eyeshadow. I use this step last because I want that color to really, really pop and sparkle right there. I didn't want to blend it out, and I wanted it all to be right there on my eyelid. So just popping that right on there and then spraying my brush again to go in on the other eye. And you can see I just kind of press that right on in there. I didn't go all the way into my tear duct because I am going to go in with a different shade, and that is going to be on my Sonia Kashuk pencil brush. I'm going to be taking my new MAC eyeshadow in the shade Fairyland. This is one of their foiled eyeshadows, and I'll show you. It is so freaking sparkly. I absolutely love this. I think it's a beautiful a brow bone highlight, and then also wonderful for my tear ducts. And you can see that shine coming off of that. Do you see that? Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I just love this color. So I'm definitely going to be investing in a couple more of these because they are really, really pretty. And that's with no primer or anything. That's just the shadow bare on my skin. Like, there's not anything to make it more sparkly. It's just a really creamy, sparkly eyeshadow. I'm loving it right now. So you can see that kind of opened up my eyes just a little bit. Enough to brighten up right there, but nothing crazy in that tear duct area. The next step that I'm going to be taking is to go in with the shade Sweetheart on my lower lash line. I really like to do my lower lash line because I think that it helps define your eyes really well. If I don't do this step, sometimes I do like top heavy eyes, but most of the time I do this and just kind of create a gradient underneath my eye to define my eye area a little bit more. So I'm going to blend that in right now, and then I'm going to be taking that same Zoeva Define Crease brush and blending that out just a little bit. I really like to blend under here. That is definitely the secret to doing an under eye area, is making sure that everything is blended out nicely and smoothly. You don't want anything too harsh under there, otherwise you're going to end up looking like a raccoon, or I don't know, it's just not going to even out right. So then I'm going to go in with my Zoeva small shader brush, or detail shader brush, with the color Rebel, which is that one in between Leader and Sweetheart. It's kind of a medium brown. And that's just going to go starting from my outer corner into about halfway into my eye area. And I'm just going to blend that out using this small detail brush. Again, I don't want anything too crazy under there. I just want to define it a little bit before I apply my mascara and everything. And then blending again with that precision crease brush. I think this brush really makes my under eye area so easy. I don't have to spend an hour blending it, and it's just beautiful. I'm going to go off camera, and I did my mascara and my eyeliner. Again, I'll post another video showing you how I do my eyeliner. And now for the prize, my Anastasia contouring kit. I am going to use the yellow and the lightest shade and blending those together to do my under eye area, just to brighten it up and kind of smooth anything away, any fallout from my eyeshadow. And I'm using the Real Techniques setting brush. I really like this brush for underneath my eyes and for chiseling out underneath my cheekbones when I contour. So now I'm going to be taking the middle shade, which I think is the lightest. It's more of the gray toned contouring shade. And I'm not doing anything crazy contouring today. I'm just going to do those hollows of my cheekbones and blending that in with a MAC blush brush. I'm going to just be swooping that from my temple area down to about halfway down my cheekbone. And then I kind of take it up the side of my face and blending that into my temple zone on my forehead. And just blending, doing the same to the other side. You can see this is going to go really quick right here. I'm also going to be taking this contouring shade to chisel out my jaw a little bit. I am a little bit fluffier, so I do need some chiseling down there just to define my face area. And onto my chin to, again, define that area, and just blending that down my neck a little bit and making sure that it's not like a harsh line along my jawbone. I don't want to look like I'm wearing a mask. So then I am going to be taking my setting brush again, taking that lightest shade and the yellow shade. Again, I'm trying to get a lot onto my brush just so I can dust it right underneath and chisel out that jawbone area and just make it a really nice contour. And then down my nose to brighten up my nose, onto my forehead to blend all of that out into the center, and also on my chin. So you can see it really, really completes a makeup look. I can't really do my makeup without adding some kind of bronzer or contouring. Then I'm going to be taking my Zoeva blush. Actually, no, I went in with MAC Melba. I really love this shade. It's a very universal. I used my Real Techniques blush brush to blend that over my cheeks. This shade is just, it's a really nice kind of peachy orange natural blush shade, and I really love it for the fall, but it's also very workable in the springtime. And like I said, I think it works for a multitude of different skin colors. So I highly recommend, if you don't own it already, it is MAC Melba. Then I'm going to be taking my MAC stippling brush and just blending all of that together. The contour, the highlight, the blush, everything, making sure it's nice and smooth. So that is that. And then as a final stage, to highlight my face, I'm going to be taking that highlighting shade from the Anastasia contour kit onto my cheekbones with that setting brush again, and then onto my Cupid's bow, teensy bit onto my nose, and then onto my chin. And I feel beautiful and glowy, and I absolutely love doing a look like this for daytime. This is just a day-to-day, everyday kind of look. So again, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked my video, or comment if you have any requests. I love you guys. Thanks.